There is a silent tragedy happening right now in the lives of the most spiritually gifted people on this planet. Maybe it is happening to you. You have read the books. You have practiced the meditations. You have written your affirmations until your hand cramped, and you have visualized your dream life until you could smell the leather in your new car or feel the warmth of a soulmate's hand. You have done everything right. You have put in the work. You are, by all definitions, awake. You are experiencing a spiritual awakening. And yet, look around. Why is the bank account still empty? Why is the relationship still chaotic? Why does it feel like for every one step forward into the light, life drags you 2 steps back into the shadows? If the law of attraction is real, why does it feel like a punishment? We have been sold a lie, a magnificent, well-packaged lie that has trapped even the chosen ones in a cycle of endless suffering. That lie is the belief that effort creates reality. We are taught that if we want something, we must chase it. We must hunt it down. We must manifest it with the sheer force of our will. But in the quantum realm, effort is not a currency. Effort is a signal of lack. Think about it. You do not try to be who you are. You do not try to breathe. It happens. You do not try to make your heart beat. It flows. The moment you try to manifest, you are screaming to the universe, "I do not have this." And the universe, in its infinite precision, responds, "Understood. You do not have it. Here is more not having it." This is the great paradox of quantum manifestation. The more you want, the less you get. The harder you run, the faster the horizon moves away. You are stuck in what we call the force loop. You are trying to use Newtonian physics, the laws of force, friction, and matter, to manipulate the quantum field. It is like trying to catch smoke with a hammer. It is impossible, and it is exhausting you. It is draining your soul and making you question your own sanity. But what if I told you that the secret to bending reality is not in doing more, but in doing absolutely nothing? What if the reason you are suffering is not because you aren't trying hard enough, but because you haven't learned the terrifying, beautiful art of total surrender? Welcome to the Matrix 963. Here, we do not deal in hope. We deal in the mechanics of reality. We are going to deconstruct the programming that has kept you asleep. We are going to explore why the chosen one often suffers the most before the breakthrough. We will dive into subconscious programming, unlock the power of theta waves, and show you how to align with the frequency of 963 Hertz, the frequency of the universe itself. In this documentary, we are not just going to talk about the law of assumption or positive thinking. We are going to dismantle the illusion of the 3D world. We will walk through the dark night of the soul, confront the shadow work you have been avoiding, and finally show you how to stop manifesting and start selecting. Put down your journal. Stop your affirmations for a moment. Take a deep breath. It is time to stop fighting the current. It is time to wake up. Chapter 1: The Paradox of Force. To understand why your manifestations are failing, we must first look at the invisible architecture of your reality. We must look at the quantum manifestation mechanism. Most people treat the universe like a vending machine. They think, if I put in the coin of affirmations and press the button of visualization, the candy bar of success must drop. But the universe is not a machine. It is a mirror. And not just any mirror, a quantum, multi-dimensional mirror that reflects not what you want, but what you are. This brings us to the paradox of force. In our physical world, the 3D matrix, we are conditioned from birth to believe in causality through force. If you want to move a chair, you must push it. If you want money, you must work harder. If you want love, you must chase it. This logic works for physical objects, but when you apply this logic to energy, to the quantum field, it backfires catastrophically. Why? Because in the quantum field, wanting is a vibration, and it is a low vibration. When you want something desperately, you are emitting a specific frequency. Let's decode that signal. When you say, I want to be rich, or I want to find my twin flame, the subtext of that signal is, I am currently poor, or I am currently lonely. The quantum field is a neutral, non-judgmental observer. It does not care if you are a good person. It does not care if you are the chosen one destined for greatness. It only respects one thing: resonance. If your dominant signal is, I am trying to get it, the field resonates with trying. It will give you more opportunities to try. It will give you more obstacles to overcome so you can keep trying. You become a master of the chase, but you never catch the prey. This is why so many people on the path of spiritual awakening find themselves in a crisis. You have woken up to the fact that you create your reality, but you are still using the old tools of the ego to do it. You are using force to create flow. Imagine you are in quicksand. The panic sets in. Your instinct, your survival mode, screams at you to struggle, to kick, to fight. But in quicksand, the more force you apply, the faster you sink. The only way to survive is to do the thing that feels most unnatural. Lay back, spread your arms, surrender to the buoyancy. Quantum manifestation works exactly the same way. The moment you try to manifest, you create resistance. Physicists call this the Zeno effect in quantum mechanics, where the act of constant, anxious observation actually freezes the state of the particle. By constantly checking, is it here yet? Is it working? You are collapsing the wave function back into the state of lack. You are freezing your reality in the very state you wish to escape. Let's go deeper. Why is this specifically harder for the chosen one, the empaths, the starseeds, the highly sensitive souls watching this? Because your energy field is an amplifier. You feel things more deeply than the average person. When you feel hope, it is euphoric. But when you feel lack, It is devastating. Your system is like a high-performance radio tower. If a normal person broadcasts a signal of worry at 10 watts, you, with your heightened spiritual awakening, might be broadcasting it at 1,000 watts. So, when you try too hard, when you grip the steering wheel of life with white knuckles, you are broadcasting a massive signal of distrust. You are telling the universe, I do not trust you. I have to do this myself. I have to force this. And the universe steps back and says, okay, you do it. And you fail. Because the ego cannot orchestrate the millions of variables required to bring you your dream life. Only the quantum field can do that. You see, the Matrix 963 isn't just a name. It represents a state of being, a frequency of pure perfection, often associated with the pineal gland and the return to oneness. In this frequency, there is no trying, there is only being. Think of the most magnetic people you know. Do they seem desperate? Do they seem like they are trying to be cool or rich or loved? No, they simply are. They possess an air of detachment. They have unknowingly mastered the law of assumption. They assume they are valuable, so the world treats them as valuable. The paradox of force teaches us one brutal truth. You cannot manifest what you want. You can only manifest what you are. If you are trying, you are not being. So, how do we stop trying? How do we turn off the engine of the struggle bus that we have been driving for decades? It starts with understanding the mechanism of the mirror. You need to understand that the reality you see outside of you, the lack of money, the ghosting texts, the difficult boss, is not real. It is a delayed reflection. It is an echo from the past, and you have been fighting with the echo instead of changing the voice. In the next chapter, we will step into the Hall of Mirrors. We will expose the glitch in the matrix that most people miss. We will learn why looking at your current reality is the fastest way to destroy your future creation, and how to look past the illusion to see the code underneath. Stop pushing. Let the gravity of your own soul pull the universe to you. Chapter 2: The Quantum Mirror and the Law of Reflection. Imagine standing in front of a mirror. You look into the glass and you see that your hair is messy. You don't like it. You want to change it. So you reach out your hand and you start frantically combing the surface of the glass. You scratch at the mirror. You yell at the reflection. Change! Fix yourself! Look better! You would look insane. Everyone knows that to change the reflection, you must comb your own hair. You must change the source, not the image. This sounds incredibly simple, yet this is exactly how 99% of humanity lives their lives. This is how you have been trying to fix your problems. You look at your bank account, the mirror, and you see a low number. You panic. You work overtime. You stress. You are scratching the mirror. You look at your partner, the mirror, and you see them pulling away. You chase them. You send double texts. You demand attention. You are screaming at the reflection. This is the fundamental error of the illusion. We believe the 3D world, the physical matter we can touch and see, is the cause. But quantum reality tells us that the 3D world is the effect. This concept is the cornerstone of escaping the matrix. The world is a dual mirror. On one side, there is the metaphysical realm, the space of variations, the quantum field, where all possibilities exist simultaneously. This is the realm of the soul, of theta waves, of the 963 Hertz frequency. Here, you are already a millionaire. You are already healed. You are already in the perfect union. It is real, but it is energy. On the other side is the physical reality, the material world. This is where the energy condenses into matter. But here is the catch, and this is the secret that the chosen one must master. The mirror has a time lag. Physical matter is heavy, it is dense. It takes time for energy to rearrange itself into atoms and circumstances. When you stand in front of a normal mirror, the reflection is instant because light is fast. But in the reality mirror, the reflection is delayed. This time lag is the trap. This is where dreams go to die. Here is the typical scenario. You start a subconscious reprogramming routine. You visualize wealth. You feel good. You are emitting a signal of abundance. The quantum mirror receives this signal and begins to rearrange reality. The gears of the universe start turning. The check is in the mail. The opportunity is being created. But you open your eyes. You look at your 3D reality and nothing has changed yet. The time lag is still in effect. Your senses, your eyes and ears tell you, it didn't work. I'm still broke. You react to this observation. You feel disappointment. Your signal drops from abundance back to lack. The quantum mirror, which was just about to show you the reflection of wealth, stops. It receives your new signal of disappointment, and it faithfully reflects that back. It stops the check. It cancels the opportunity. You killed the seed because you dug it up to see if it was growing. To master quantum manifestation, you must develop a kind of delusional persistence. You must learn to ignore the current reflection. You must understand that what you see around you today is simply the crystallized shadow of your past thoughts and vibrations. If you are broke today, that is the reflection of who you were 6 months ago. It is old news. It is a dead star still shining in the sky, even though it burned out eons ago. Why react to a dead star? The chosen one understands this distinction. They walk through the fire of the current reality without flinching. This is the essence of the law of assumption. Neville Goddard, a mystic who understood this matrix, taught us to live in the end. This doesn't mean you pretend the 3D world doesn't exist. It means you don't give it authority over your internal state. You must treat reality like a simulation that is rendering slowly. When you see something you don't like, don't react. Don't engage emotionally. Withdraw your attention. Starve the unwanted reflection of your energy. And when you see even the tiniest hint of what you want, a penny on the street, a smile from a stranger, you magnify it. You celebrate it. You confirm to the mirror, yes, this is me. This is my reality. But there is a deeper layer to this. It's not just about ignoring the bad and seeing the good. It is about identity shifting. The mirror reflects identity. If you identify as someone trying to escape the matrix, The mirror will give you a matrix to escape from. If you identify as someone looking for a spiritual awakening, the mirror will keep you in the state of looking, never finding. You must become the avatar of the person who has already won. How does the wealthy version of you breathe? How do they walk? What is their dominant vibration? Is it anxiety? No, it is certainty. It is a calm, bored certainty. Rich people are not excited about paying for dinner. They are neutral about it because it is normal for them. The chosen one does not chase miracles. They expect them as their birthright. This shift requires more than just willpower. It requires rewiring the biological hardware that keeps you trapped in the old reflection. Your brain, your nervous system, is addicted to the old chemical cocktail of stress and survival. Even if you understand this mirror concept intellectually, your body is likely still fighting it. Your subconscious mind is programmed to keep you safe, not to make you a god of your reality. In the next chapter, we are going to leave the philosophy behind and enter the biology of belief. We will explore the neuroscience of resistance. We will discover why your brain fights your awakening, how your survival mode blocks the flow of abundance, and how to hack your own reticular activating system to see the opportunities the mirror has been showing you all along. The mirror is waiting for a new command, but first, we must hack the commander. Chapter 3: The Neuroscience of Resistance. We have established that the universe is a mirror reflecting your identity. But this leads to a terrifying question. If you consciously want money, love, and peace, why does your reflection, your life, keep showing you debt, loneliness, and chaos? Is the mirror broken? No. The problem is that you are not who you think you are. You are not your conscious thoughts. You are not your vision board. You are your programming. To understand why quantum manifestation fails for so many intelligent people, we must leave the spiritual realm for a moment and enter the biological machine, your brain. We need to talk about the neuroscience of resistance. Your brain has a primary directive, and it is not to make you happy. It is not to make you a millionaire, or a spiritual guru, or the chosen one. Your brain's primary directive is to keep you alive. To the primitive part of your brain, the limbic system, the known equals safety. The unknown equals death. Here is the glitch in the matrix 963 of your biology. Your nervous system cannot tell the difference between winning the lottery and being eaten by a lion. Both represent a massive deviation from your baseline. Both represent the unknown. So when you start your spiritual awakening, when you start visualizing a new life that is radically different from your current one, your amygdala, the brain's fear center, sounds the alarm. You say, "I am ready for abundance." Your nervous system says, "Warning, unknown territory detected. Return to baseline immediately." This is why you self-sabotage. This is why right after a breakthrough, you suddenly get depressed or pick a fight with your partner or overspend. It is not a spiritual punishment. It is a biological thermostat kicking in. This is called homeostasis. Think of your life like a room set to 68 degrees. If you try to heat it up to 90 degrees, wealth or success, the AC unit will kick on furiously to cool it back down to 68 degrees. Your subconscious mind is that AC unit. It will do anything, create anxiety, procrastination, even physical illness, to drag you back to the familiar vibration of struggle. Furthermore, we must talk about the reticular activating system, RAS. This is a bundle of nerves at your brainstem that acts as a filter. Millions of bits of data flood your senses every second. If you processed all of it, your brain would melt. So the RAS filters it out. It only lets in information that matches your existing beliefs. If you believe money is hard to make, your RAS literally blinds you to easy opportunities. You could walk past $1 million idea and not see it. It is invisible to you. But if you believe I am a victim, your RAS will highlight every insult, every rejection, every frown to prove you right. This is subconscious reprogramming in reverse. You are running a program of survival, trying to install an app of abundance. It crashes the system. Most people try to fight this with positive thinking. They stand in front of a mirror and say, I am rich, I am happy. But while their mouth is saying the words, their body is trembling with anxiety. Their heart rate is high. Their cortisol is spiking. We call this incoherent broadcasting. The quantum field does not listen to what you say. It listens to what you broadcast. Your brain sends the signal of the thought, but your heart sends the signal of the emotion. And the magnetic field of the heart is up to 5,000 times stronger than the brain. If your brain says wealth, but your heart screams fear, the fear signal wins every time. So when you force yourself to manifest while in survival mode, you are actually conditioning yourself to associate your dreams with stress. You are wiring your neurology to reject your desires. You are stuck in the beta brainwave state, high frequency, high stress, analytical thinking. This is the frequency of the matrix. In beta, you are an animal looking for a predator. You are not a creator. You cannot shift reality from beta. To escape this trap, you don't need more willpower. You need to hack the operating system. You need to signal safety to your amygdala before you signal desire to the universe. You must teach your body that the unknown is safe. This is where the journey of the chosen one becomes difficult, because to reprogram this machine, you have to stop running from the discomfort. You have to descend into the basement of your own psyche. You have to face the program head on. Before you can fly, you must fall. This leads us to the most misunderstood phase of awakening, the phase that makes most people quit, the darkness. Chapter 4: The Dark Night of the Soul and Shadow Work. There is a secret about spiritual awakening that the law of attraction gurus rarely tell you. They sell you the light, the bliss, and the instant manifestation, but they don't tell you about the destruction that comes first. If you are watching this, you might be in it right now. You might feel isolated. You might feel like your life is falling apart. Friends are leaving you. Your job feels unbearable. Old traumas are resurfacing with a vengeance. You feel lost, crazy, and abandoned by the universe. You are not crazy. You are experiencing the dark night of the soul. And contrary to what your fear tells you, this is not a sign that you are failing. This is the definitive sign that you are the chosen one, and that your transformation has begun. Think of it this way. If you want to renovate a house, you don't just paint over the rotting wood. You have to tear down the walls. You have to rip up the floorboards. It looks like a disaster zone. It looks like chaos. But it is necessary destruction for a new foundation. The Matrix 963 requires a vessel that can hold high-frequency energy. But right now, your vessel is full of the dense, heavy energy of your past, your trauma, your limiting beliefs, your generational curses. You cannot pour clear water into a cup filled with mud. The mud must be purged. This purging process is what we call shadow work. Carl Jung, the legendary psychologist, famously said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." Your shadow is everything you have denied about yourself. The parts of you that were told were bad, wrong, or shameful. Your anger, your jealousy, your fear of abandonment, your arrogance. When you try to use quantum manifestation to get things, money, love, status, without doing your shadow work, you are engaging in spiritual bypassing. You are trying to put whipped cream on a pile of garbage. The universe will not allow it. The universe will trigger you. It will send you people and situations that press your deepest wounds. Why? Not to hurt you, but to show you where the program is still running. Every trigger is a map to a buried treasure. If you are triggered by disrespect, your shadow is screaming, "I do not feel worthy of respect." If you are triggered by loss, your shadow is screaming, "I am not safe on my own." The chosen one does not run from these triggers. They run into them. This is the hardest part of the protocol. When the anxiety hits, when the dark night feels endless, your instinct is to fix it. You want to manifest it away. You want to visualize a beach to escape the pain. Stop. Turn around and face the pain. Sit with it. Invite the monster to tea. Ask it, "What are you trying to protect me from?" The moment you observe your shadow without judgment, you stop being the victim of it and become the master of it. You transmute the lead of trauma into the gold of wisdom. This is the true alchemy. Many of you are stuck in a loop of almost manifesting your desires because your shadow is sabotaging you to keep you safe. You consciously want the millions, but your shadow whispers, if you get rich, people will use you, and you will be alone. Until you integrate that shadow, the money will never stay. The relationship will never last. The dark night of the soul is the fire that burns away everything that is not you. It burns away the ego, the masks, the need for validation. It strips you naked until all that is left is your authentic core. It is painful. It is terrifying, but it is the gateway to the 963 frequency. You cannot resonate with the frequency of the divine while you are weighed down by the frequency of repressed shame. So if you are in the darkness right now, keep walking. Do not try to force the sun to rise. The sun will rise when the purification is complete. And when you finally emerge from this tunnel, you will not just be someone who wants things. You will be a clear channel. You will be empty of resistance. And into that emptiness, the universe can finally pour its infinite abundance. But how do we maintain this state? How do we access the operating system of the mind to rewrite the code permanently? We must learn to slow down our brain waves. We must enter the twilight zone of consciousness. Chapter 5: The Art of Surrender and Theta Waves. We have dismantled the illusion of effort. We have faced the biological resistance. We have walked through the shadow. Now we arrive at the holy grail of quantum manifestation, the art of surrender. Surrender is a weak word in our society. It sounds like defeat. It sounds like losing. But in the physics of the Matrix 963, surrender is the ultimate power move. Surrender is not giving up on your dreams. Surrender is giving up the resistance to your dreams. It is moving from the state of fighting to get it to the state of allowing it to come. But how do you surrender? You can't just tell yourself to let go. Your analytical mind won't let you. It will cling to control like a drowning man clinging to a rock. To truly surrender, you must bypass the analytical mind completely. You must change your brainwave state. Most of your waking life, you are in beta state. This is the frequency of stress, analysis, logic, and the ego. In beta, the door to the subconscious is locked shut. You can shout affirmations at the door all day, but the guard won't let you in. To open the door, you must slow down your brain into alpha and deeper still into theta waves. Theta state, 4 to 7 hertz, is the kingdom of the chosen one. It is the twilight state between being awake and asleep. It is the state of deep hypnosis, lucid dreaming, and profound meditation. In Theta, the analytical mind goes offline. The guard leaves the door. The ego dissolves. In this state, your conscious and subconscious minds merge. You become highly suggestible. You become a creator. This is where the magic of 963 hertz comes in. This frequency is often called the frequency of the gods, or the tone of the pineal gland. It is the vibration of pure, unfiltered connection with the quantum field. When you access the Theta state while holding the intention of your desire, you are no longer asking for it. You are planting the seed directly into the fertile soil of the matrix. There is no resistance. There is no doubt. There is only instantaneous impression. Think of it like downloading a file. In beta state, your internet connection is jammed with the noise of worry. The download is stuck at 1%. In theta state, you have a direct fiber optic cable to the source. The download is instant. So, how do we use this practically? The most powerful time for subconscious reprogramming is the 10 minutes before you fall asleep and the 10 minutes after you wake up. Thomas Edison knew this. Dali knew this. They used the hypnagogic state, the theta window, to access their genius. Yet what do most people do before bed? They scroll through social media, programming their mind with comparison. They watch the news, programming their mind with fear. They worry about tomorrow, programming their mind with anxiety. They are literally hypnotizing themselves into misery. To escape the matrix, you must reclaim your sleep. Hypno-sleep is the most effortless tool you have. Here is the protocol of surrender. As you lay in bed, your body gets heavy. Your thoughts become fragmented. You are naturally drifting from beta to alpha to theta. Instead of thinking about your problems, you must direct your mind to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Not the image, the feeling. How would it feel if you were already the person you want to be? Would you feel relief, gratitude, security? Capture that feeling. Wrap yourself in it like a blanket and let yourself drift off to sleep in that frequency. By doing this, you are marinating your subconscious mind in the vibration of your desire for 8 hours straight. You are broadcasting the signal of "it is done" while you sleep. This is the ultimate doing nothing. You are not working, you are resting, but you are shifting mountains in the quantum field. When you wake up, do not jump out of bed to check your phone. Stay in that groggy, soft state for a few minutes. That is the theta residue. Use that time to confirm your reality. Thank you. Thank you for this life. I am ready. This is how you bridge the gap between the dimensions. You stop trying to force the 3D world to change with a hammer. Instead, you enter the control room of the simulation while the guards are asleep, and you rewrite the code. Surrender is simply the act of trusting the unseen more than the seen. It is the understanding that once the seed is planted in the theta soil, you do not need to dig it up. You water it with faith, and you let the sun of the universe do the rest. But be warned, as you begin to master this, as you begin to shift your identity, the old reality will try to pull you back one last time. It will test your resolve. How do you know if you are doing it right? How do you know if the silence is the silence of the void or the silence before the harvest? In the next chapter, we will learn to read the language of the universe. We will decode the signs, the synchronicities, and the subtle shifts that tell you It is working. You are no longer blind. You are about to see the code. Chapter 6. Re-identify. Who are you in the Matrix? We have arrived at the deepest layer of the code. This is where most people stop. They are willing to visualize. They are willing to meditate, but they are terrified to change who they are. You see, you don't get what you want in life. You get who you are. The quantum manifestation mechanism is not a delivery service that brings packages to your current address. It is a radio tuner that picks up the station you are currently broadcasting. If you are broadcasting the signal of, "I am a struggling victim trying to find the light," the Matrix 963 will construct a reality that perfectly supports the narrative of a struggling victim. It will give you just enough hope to keep you going, but enough pain to keep you struggling, because that is your identity. To break this loop, you must undergo an identity shift. This is the essence of the law of assumption. Neville Goddard, the great mystic, did not say, "Hope for the end." He said, "Live in the end." But what does that actually mean? It doesn't mean you delusionally spend money you don't have. It means you occupy the mental state of the person who already has it. Ask yourself this question. If you were already the chosen one who has ascended, if you were already wealthy, loved, and whole, how would you walk into a room? How would you drink your coffee? How would you react to a rude comment? Would you be defensive? No, you would be unbothered. Would you be desperate for validation? No, you would be self-sourced. Would you be anxious about the future? No, you would be excited. The shift happens in the micro moments. It is not about the big car or the mansion. It is about the attitude you carry while you are washing the dishes. Most people are waiting for the external world to change so they can feel good internally. When I get the money, then I will feel secure. When I find the soulmate, then I will feel lovable. This is the trap of the Matrix. You are letting the simulation program the user. You must flip the script. You must feel secure first. You must feel lovable first. You must become the avatar of your future self right now, in the middle of the mess. This is acting, but it is not faking. It is method acting for your soul. When a great actor prepares for a role, they don't just read lines. They become the character. They think like them. They feel like them. They adopt their posture. Eventually, the actor disappears, and only the character remains. You must do the same with your ideal self. Let's talk about the chosen one archetype. This is not about ego. It is not about being better than others. Being the chosen one simply means you have chosen yourself. You have accepted the responsibility of being the creator of your reality. The victim asks, "Why is this happening to me?" The chosen one asks, "How did I create this? And what do I choose now?" The shift in identity is subtle, but seismic. The victim says, "I hope this works," signal of doubt. The creator says, "It is done," signal of certainty. When you truly shift your identity, you stop looking for results. Does a billionaire check his bank account every 5 minutes to see if he's still rich? No. He knows he is. The knowing is the signal. This is where the concept of the Matrix 963 becomes a lifestyle. Living in the 963 frequency means living in a state of divine nonchalance. You care, but you don't worry. You desire, but you don't need. You hold your desire lightly, like a butterfly in your hand. If you grip it too tight, need or desperation, you crush it. If you let it sit there with trust, it stays. So your homework for this chapter is a question of character. Who is the version 2.0 of you? Does that version complain about the economy? Does that version gossip? Does that version scroll mindlessly on TikTok for 3 hours? If the answer is no, then stop doing it. Not because you are forcing yourself, but because that is not who you are anymore. You are allergic to the old behaviors because they no longer fit your new skin. This identity shift is the strongest signal you can send to the quantum field. It screams, "I am new. Send me a new reflection." But as you make this shift, your old biology will fight back. Your nervous system will try to drag you back to the old you. You need tools. You need a protocol to handle the transition. You need to know exactly what to do when the panic sets in. Chapter 7: Practical Protocols, Hypnosis, and the Reset. Theory is useless without practice. You can understand quantum mechanics intellectually, but if you still panic when a bill arrives, you are still in the matrix. We need to give you weapons, not physical weapons, but neurological ones. Tools to hack your own system and override the subconscious reprogramming of the past. Here are the 2 most powerful protocols for the Chosen One. Protocol 1: the 60-second reset, the pattern interrupt. You are going about your day. You are feeling good. Then something happens. A bad email, a rude comment, a sudden thought of, "I'm not good enough." Your heart rate spikes, your stomach tightens, you're spiraling down into the vortex of lack. Most people let this spiral continue for hours or days. They ruin their whole week. You have a window of about 90 seconds before the chemical reaction in your body takes over completely. You must catch it. You need a pattern interrupt. Step 1: stop. Literally stop moving. Put down what you are holding. Step 2: the physiological sigh. Take a double inhale through the nose, short then long, and a long exhale through the mouth. Do this 3 times. This is a biological hack that instantly lowers cortisol and tells your amygdala, "We are safe." Step 3: hand on heart. Place your hand on your chest. Feel the warmth. This connects your brain to your heart center. Step 4: the anchor thought. Choose one thing you are undeniably grateful for. Not something big, something immediate. The coffee is warm. The sun is shining. Your lungs are working. Step 5. The switch. Say to yourself, I am not this emotion. I am the observer of this emotion. I choose peace. In 60 seconds, you have stopped the momentum of the old timeline. You have prevented a bad moment from becoming a bad life. You have proven to the Matrix 963 that you are in control. Protocol 2. Sleep hypnosis, the Theta gateway. If the 60-second reset is your shield during the day, sleep hypnosis is your sword during the night. We discussed theta waves earlier. The moment before you fall asleep is the most magical time of your existence. It is the only time the conscious guard dog is asleep, but the subconscious back door is wide open. Most people use this time to worry. They visualize disaster scenarios. They are literally hypnotizing themselves into failure. You will do the opposite. You will use sleep hypnosis. You don't need a fancy therapist. You just need a routine. As you lay in bed, put your phone away. No blue light. Close your eyes. Feel your body getting heavy. This is the descent into theta. Now, instead of thinking words, I want you to replay a short scene, a scene that implies your wish is already fulfilled. If you want marriage, imagine feeling a ring on your finger. Feel the metal. Feel the weight. If you want a new home, imagine the feeling of the key turning in the lock. Hear the click. If you want health, imagine running up a hill and feeling your lungs full of effortless air. Loop this scene over and over. Feel the texture. Feel the reality of it. And here is the key. Fall asleep inside the scene. Don't do the scene and then stop to go to sleep. Let the scene be the lullaby that carries you into unconsciousness. By doing this, you are handing your subconscious mind a blueprint. For the next 8 hours while you sleep, your brain will be marinating in this new reality. It will be rewiring your neural pathways to match this frequency. You will wake up feeling different. You might not know why, but you will feel a subtle shift. That is the subconscious reprogramming taking root. Protocol 3. Micro-actions. Finally, you must act, but not massive action, micro-action. The universe loves specificity. If you believe you are wealthy, do one small thing a wealthy person would do. Tip the waiter 20% instead of 15%. Buy the slightly better brand of coffee. It's not about spending money you don't have. It's about breaking the pattern of scarcity. If you believe you are in a relationship, clear out a drawer for your partner. Sleep on one side of the bed. These are physical signals to the quantum field. You are saying, I am making space. I am ready. These protocols are simple, but do not underestimate them. Consistency is the key. The matrix is built on repetition. To escape it, you must use repetition. Do the reset. Do the sleep hypnosis. Take the micro-actions. And then watch. Watch the feedback loop. Because once you start broadcasting this new signal, the universe must respond. It has no choice. But the response might not look like you expect. It might look strange. It might look like coincidences. It might even look like chaos. You need to know how to read the signs. Chapter 8. Decoding the Signs, the Language of the Universe. You have shifted your identity. You are doing the protocols. You are holding the frequency. Now you are waiting for the reflection. But remember the time lag. The big manifestation, the lottery win, the wedding, might take time to crystallize. However, the universe will send you breadcrumbs along the way to tell you that you are on the right path. You must learn to be a detective of synchronicities. When you align with the Matrix 963, the rigid structure of the 3D world begins to soften. Things start to happen that logic cannot explain. Sign 1. The angel numbers and patterns. You might start seeing 111, 222, or 963 everywhere. On receipts, on clocks, on license plates. Skeptics call this confirmation bias. We call it quantum winking. It is the universe saying, "I hear you. The signal is strong. Keep going." Don't obsess over them. Just smile, acknowledge them, and say, "Thank you." Sign 2. The unreasonable peace. This is the most important sign. Suddenly, you look at your bank account and it's still low, but you don't panic. You feel a strange, calm assurance. The external world is chaotic, but your internal world is still. This means the subconscious reprogramming has worked. You are no longer reacting to the illusion. You have detached. This peace is the precursor to the miracle. Sign 3. The bridge of incidents, the chaos. This is the one that tricks everyone. Sometimes, when you manifest a new life, the old life has to crumble to make space for it. You ask for a better job, and you get fired. You ask for a soulmate, and your current toxic relationship ends abruptly and painfully. You think, "Oh no, I manifested wrong. Bad things are happening." No. This is the bridge of incidents. The universe is clearing the path. The old structure was too small for your new energy. It had to break. If you are walking through the rubble right now, do not despair. You are walking across the bridge. Keep moving. Sign 4. Thoughts turning to things. You think of a friend and they call. You think of a specific book and someone mentions it. The time lag is shortening. Your thoughts are manifesting faster. This is a sign that your power is growing. Be careful what you think about in this stage. Your fear will manifest just as fast as your love. The chosen one knows how to read these signs. They do not need the final result to feel successful. They celebrate the signs. When you celebrate a sign, you amplify the signal. You tell the mirror, "Yes, more of this." So open your eyes. The universe is constantly talking to you. It is speaking in the language of vibration, coincidence, and intuition. Are you listening? Or are you too busy looking at what is missing to see what is arriving? You are close, closer than you think. The frequency is rising. The code is rewriting itself. And now it is time to bring it all together. It is time to step into your power, not as a seeker, but as a master. Chapter 9. Navigating the Time Lag. The final test. We have reached the most dangerous part of the journey. This is the graveyard where 90% of spiritual awakenings die. You have done the work. You have reprogrammed your subconscious. You have surrendered. You are vibrating at 963 hertz, and yet the 3D world looks exactly the same. The debt is still there. The loneliness is still there. This is the time lag, and it is the final test of the chosen one. You must understand the physics of the dimension you live in. The quantum field, the fifth dimension, is instant. Thought creates reality immediately. But the physical world, the 3D dimension, is dense. It is heavy. It is like moving through molasses. When you plant a seed, do you dig it up the next day and scream at it, "Why aren't you a tree yet?" Of course not. You know that beneath the surface, in the dark, the seed is cracking open. Roots are forming. Life is happening, even though you cannot see it. The time lag is simply the gestation period of your miracle. But the human ego hates the lag. The ego says, "I have been positive for 3 days. Where is my $1 million?" This impatience is fatal, because impatience is a form of doubt, and doubt is a command to the quantum mirror to stop the process. Think of reality like the night sky. When you look at a star, you are seeing light that traveled for millions of years to reach you. You are looking at the past. Similarly, your current reality, your house, your job, your relationship, is just the light of your past thoughts finally arriving. It is old data. The chosen one understands they are living in 2 timelines simultaneously. Physically, they might be in the old timeline, the lag, but energetically, they are already in the new timeline, the harvest. So how do you survive the lag without losing your mind? You must fall in love with the process, not the result. You must find joy in the feeling of alignment, even if the external world hasn't caught up. When you can sit in an empty room and feel the abundance of the universe flowing through your veins before the money arrives, that is when you have mastered the Matrix 963. The lag is not a punishment. It is a buffer. Imagine if every fleeting thought you had manifested instantly. Every fear, every worry would become a monster in your living room in seconds. That would be a nightmare. The lag is a gift. It gives you time to clarify your signal. It asks you, are you sure? Do you really want this? Or was this just a fleeting wish? Consistency overcomes the lag. If you hold the frequency of 963 Hertz, the frequency of pure divine connection, long enough, the dense matter of the 3D world must yield. It has to. It is a law of physics. Energy reorganizes matter. Do not give up at 99%. Do not turn back when you are inches from the goal. The silence you hear right now is not the silence of nothingness. It is the silence of the womb. It is the silence before the birth. Keep watering the soil. Keep believing in what you cannot see, because what is coming is far greater than what you can imagine. Chapter 10. The Collective Resonance. You are not alone. Throughout this documentary, we have focused on you, your brain, your manifestation, your awakening. But there is a higher truth that we must acknowledge. Spiritual awakening is not a solitary event. It is a collective phenomenon. You might feel alone. You might feel like the black sheep of your family, the weird one, the only one who sees the matrix for what it is. But you are not alone. You are part of a massive, invisible grid of consciousness that is waking up all over the planet. This is the collective resonance. Science calls this the Maharishi effect. Studies have shown that when a small group of people meditate and hold a frequency of peace, it statistically lowers crime rates and violence in the surrounding population. Think about the power of that. Your internal state doesn't just change your life. It ripples out. It affects your children, your neighbors, your city, and ultimately the world. When you heal your own shadow, you are healing a part of the collective shadow. When you overcome your scarcity mindset, you are breaking a generational chain of poverty that has plagued your ancestors for centuries. You, the chosen one, are not just manifesting a new car. You are manifesting a new earth. This is why the Matrix 963 exists. This is not just a YouTube channel. This is a digital sanctuary. It is a gathering place for the souls who are ready to exit the program of fear and enter the program of love. Every time you watch a video like this, every time you leave a comment sharing your story, every time you like and subscribe, you are not just helping an algorithm. You are strengthening the signal. You are finding your tribe. The Matrix wants you isolated. It wants you to think you are crazy. But look at the comment section. Look at how many others are walking this path. We are building a new grid, a grid of theta abundance, a grid of 963 Hertz unity. So, as you move forward, remember your responsibility. Do not just do this for yourself. Do this because the world needs your light. When you shine, you give others permission to shine. When you break free, you leave a trail for others to follow. Your awakening is the greatest service you can offer to humanity. Stand tall in that truth. You are powerful beyond measure. The call to light, a new beginning. We have journeyed from the illusion of effort to the truth of surrender. We have explored the neuroscience of your resistance and the physics of the quantum mirror. We have walked through the dark night and emerged with the tools to rewrite the code. The path of the chosen one is not easy. It requires courage to let go of the shore and float into the unknown. It requires bravery to face the shadow and love it into the light. But you are ready. You would not be watching this if you were not ready. The Matrix 963 is no longer a prison. It is your playground. You now hold the controller. You now know the cheat codes. Stop forcing. Stop fighting. Start being. Start flowing. Look in the mirror today and realize the person looking back at you is the God of their own reality. Smile at them and watch the universe smile back. But I must leave you with one final secret. We have learned how to clean the mirror. We have learned how to polish the reflection. But there is a deeper level. To truly bend reality at will, to create not just peace, but miracles, you need to know how to communicate directly with the entity that runs the projector. There is a genie inside you, a force so powerful it runs 95% of your life without your permission. We call it the subconscious, but the ancients called it the divine connection. How do you talk to it? How do you give it a command that it cannot refuse? Most people are knocking on the door. I want to give you the key. In the next video, Understanding Quantum Connection, the subconscious will unlock your inner energy source. We are going to enter the forbidden room of the mind. We will explore the lost art of quantum communication. You do not want to miss this. If you are ready to claim your power, click the subscribe button right now. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the signal. And tell me in the comments below, I am ready to receive. Declare it to the universe. Anchor it in the Matrix. I am the voice of the Matrix 963. Thank you for waking up with us. See you in the quantum field.